Good morning, everyone. Here we are. It's the Frugal News. The Frugal News. Yeah, join the show. Remember the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune, ladies and gentlemen. So, good morning, everyone. Hope we're all okay. Yeah, it's all getting rather exciting, isn't it? Eh? Anybody lost track of what's going on? Anybody lost the shit yet? Maybe. No point in losing your shit. Someone said to me yesterday, what happens if a nuclear bomb goes off, Mark? I was like, well, I won't worry too much about that if I was you, because it might be hot for a little while and then you'll just be incinerated. I think that's the best way to look at things, don't you? Anyway, meanwhile, we've got 24 people in. It is, of course, the 17th today, ladies and gentlemen, 17th through the 3rd, 2026. It is, of course, the morning edition of the news. So let's have a look. Oh, Lisa McCulloch's in. Lisa McCulloch first in. Well done, Lisa. Nina Turner second. Chris Taylor third. Brilliant. Leslie Ann fourth. Sharon Young fifth. And, of course, Joyce Guest is sixth. We've also got Sheila Douglas, Ellen Dean's in, freedom fighter, as you well know. Sue Allen's in, Starry Night's in, Mary's in. Mary, quite contrary. Mary must be a new one. Looks like a new one to me. I've not seen Mary around for a while. So good morning, Mary. I hope you're okay. Enjoy the show. Remember, if you are offended or triggered by anything that we talk about, unfortunately, we don't really care. So there you go. It's a great show. Enjoy it. Welcome. Christine M's in, Angie's in, Natalie Bowen's in. How you doing, Natalie? We've got Belinda in, Michael's in, Graham's in, Brenda Corcoran's in, Kira's in, all the way from the Irish Shire. Jen Meesa's in, Christina's in, Pamela Green's in, A New Life is in. Who else have we got? And, of course, all of Ireland is in. All of Ireland is in. So, good morning, everyone. Hope you're all okay. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So let's have a look. What we got for today then? Let's have a look for you today. So let's see if we can calm your nerves a little, because seems as though quite a few people are shitting themselves. Very interesting. Now today, Maduro is on trial today. Maybe that's why Iran is kicking off, maybe. Oh, you don't know. All these things are all linked. It's all very technical. Takes some working out, but yeah, so Maduro on trial today. Oh, what could possibly go wrong with that? And then, of course, there's another guy that I've not heard before, and this is a guy called Sasha Barros. Now, apparently, he's getting interviewed today. Now, Sasha claims he was born in 1973, and he claims that he was trafficked many years ago, right from being a boy, actually. So this is quite an interesting story. He's an Iraq war veteran, so bit of a distinguished man, so to speak. But anyway, he's now being interviewed today on some NS Now program. I don't know what that is. Must be some US channel. I don't know. But anyway, he's claiming that he's got evidence on Andy Biggs, Trump, and Clarence Thomas. Now, Clarence Thomas, I think, is the High Court judge. The High Court judge or the Senate judge, whatever you want to call him. We all know who Trump is. Andy Briggs, not too sure about, but anyway, we'll do a bit more digging on that and find out, because that's the story worth actually going at. Now, the Israeli Defense Minister, Benji Hayo Humyong-ding, is basically kicking off in regards to Israel being bombed. Now, this guy, of course, is the guy that bombed the shit out of Gaza and the Palestinian people mercilessly over the last, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, however long that shit's been going. And committed massive amounts of war crimes, etc., etc., etc. Now, just because Iran is bombing Israel, he's having a little bit of a cry into his nappy, and he's now calling for the United Nations to step in and stop Iran using cluster bomb munitions. Now, cluster bombs, of course, as you well know, or you should do, that's where they drop a bomb, and as the bomb falls, it's what they call it, clusters, and it sends out loads more bombs, right? And you get like a blanket bombing area. So, yeah, so this guy's now crying in his nappy. After years and years of bombing Gaza, the Israelis don't particularly like it now, but of course it's too late because the fuse, of course, has been lit. Now, let's just do a little bit. No, let's do something else. Let's talk about Larry Silverstein. Now, you'll all remember old Larry. He was a good old laugh. This is the guy that for 10, 15 years always had his breakfast on the top floor of the World Trade Center. Unfortunately, on the day that it was attacked by terrorists, or should we say George Bush, what happened there was that Larry didn't have his breakfast. No, he had a McDonald's takeaway. Very interesting. I wonder why. Now, not only that, but 3 minutes before there was a terrorist attack on the Twin Towers, Larry decided to insure the building for, of course, a terrorist attack. He just happened to make about $4 billion out of the deal. Now, we also know that, of course, Larry, we also know that the World Trade Center building was condemned to be demolished. Unfortunately, it couldn't be demolished in the conventional way because of a certain asbestosis, and which would have meant that in regards to demolition, the whole of the building would have had to have been taken down by hand, which of course would have cost Barry Larry a lot of cash. So of course the terrorist attack by the Iraqis was of course very convenient at the time. As you well know, ISIS and Al Qaeda were responsible. Because, of course, they found passports in tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of rubble. Yes, they just happened to find 2 Islamic passports. Well, there you fucking go. Very interesting. Now, people are getting worried because Larry has just put terrorist insurance on one of the largest buildings in LA. Now, Larry must think that we're stupid and that we can't put 2 and 2 together. Meanwhile, of course, 4 drones happen to have gone missing on a US Air Force base. What could they possibly be used for? I wonder. Fucking beautiful day up in the northeast of England today. It's lovely. Temperature's gone up. Yeah, just going back to some good stuff. Temperature's gone up. A few clouds about. Little bit of a breeze, but it's actually quite warm. So, yeah, there you go. So, but of course, we do some good stuff up here in God's country. So, of course, we have to be rewarded. That's just part of the deal. What else have we got? Let's have a look. Now, March equinox is fast approaching, so expect some big energy surges, and also the Schumann resonance is, of course, due to go through the roof. So if you do find yourself in the middle of the night floating on the ceiling, don't be too worried. That's all we can say. 33 people in the house. Beautiful. Now, Denzel Washington has done a little bit of whistleblowing. This, of course, is on Ellen DeGeneres. Now, Denzel says that there is a Hollywood tape that is knocking around that proves that Ellen DeGeneres and certain Hollywood people like to eat a certain type of meat. Let's wait and see on that one. Genzel's not normally wrong. But anyway, now, this is a great one. This is a great one. You're going to love this. The UK government now absolutely shitting themselves over the Iranian situation. So they're putting together a dossier of maybe rationing fuel. One of the great ideas was to reduce the speed limit all across the UK down to 30 miles an hour to save fuel. What the boffins in power haven't realised is that 30 miles an hour won't actually save fuel. But listen, don't tell them that, because we don't want them to be as brainy as what we are. And, I mean, fuel rationing, what's all that about? I mean, let's not forget, of course, why did the UK, of course, refuse the Trump call? Well, very interestingly enough, I think this is probably one of Donald Trump's trump cards, where he's trying to get people to do things for all kinds of different reasons. Now, of course, because the UK didn't support Donald Trump, that means that, of course, they must have been supporting Iran. Now, why, of course, would they support Iran? Well, that's very interesting, because, of course, with the Strait of Hormuz now being shut down, that means that the UK can hike up the prices of oil and food, because, of course, it's a similar playbook that we always get. And, of course, as you well know, the fractions of Iran and Israel are basically the same. Israel has been calling for Iran to be bombed by America for a very long time. Under the guise of nuclear weapons, regime change, this and that and the other. It similarly reminds me of Libya back in the day, when, of course, they didn't like Colonel Gaddafi, because Colonel Gaddafi actually looked after his people, and that really wasn't the remit of the colonial British arseholes. Colonel Gaddafi had to go. I think Colonel Gaddafi had plans to basically create like another currency, which, of course, would destroy the petrodollar. So what's happening here, you see, is that the UK and Starmer are trying desperately to save the petrodollar, not the British pound, but the petrodollar. Now, the petrodollar is very interesting. First of all, it's paper money and it's worth fuck all. And secondly, of course, the petrodollar is all part of the maritime law. It's all part of the birth certificate scam. It's all part of the way that the British colonials have ruled the waves, so to speak, for the last 200 years, 300 years. I don't really know how long it is. My memory's not all that good. I've only got about 50 years of a lifespan, so that's all I can remember. Apart from when I'm astral travelling, then it gets fucking serious. Now, here's an interesting one. The City of London, of course, as you well know, they refused to insure the boats going through the Strait of Hormuz. Now, that's quite an interesting one. This, of course, is Lloyd's of London. Okay? You know the drill. You know the drill. This is all about banking control. This is all about trying to save face. This is all about freaking panic. They're panicking. Okay? Unfortunately, they're losing. Now, the first ship that sailed through the Strait of Hormuz, with lots of oil on, okay, was paid for in yen. Not dollars, yen. That's interesting, isn't it? We'll wait and see. It's the first time that yen was used to pay for oil. Very interesting. So anyway, we'll wait and see on that one. And of course, let's not forget, let's just recap on the facts about Iran. Now, what do we know about Iran? Well, we know that Iran is what they call a proxy country, which creates this idea of war. It's all done by the CIA and the FBI and the fucking Mossad and Israel, and it's just all bollocks. So, Obama funded Iran with to the tune of a lot of fucking cash, to be honest. I think he sent a pallet one day, as you do, on a plane. 170 million or billion was on it. I don't know, can't remember. But anyway, very interesting. Oh, yeah, just like we funded the Ukrainian war. What's happened to the Ukrainian war, ladies and gentlemen? Not heard much about that, have we now? No. Very interesting. Where's Zelensky gone? He hasn't popped up for a while, has he, either? Yeah, makes you wonder, doesn't it? So we've got Obama funding Iran for whatever reasons. Hillary Clinton, the Clinton Foundation involved in that as well. They got a lot of kickbacks from that. We've also got, Israel always wanted to bomb Iran on the proviso of nuclear weapons, regime change, etc., etc. So, very, very interesting. This is all, we all know that the British colonial thing is all about forever wars and money and gold and drugs and trafficking, etc., etc. Okay, it's just another deep state country. It's not the people that's the problem. The people are not the problem. It's the leaders that are the problem. They're the fucking problem. They're like a little gang. And they've got the little henchmen all over the world. Interesting. Now, I got to thinking the other night about Trump because, I was trying to work out what he's trying to do, and some of the things are quite alarming when you actually look at it, right? But and some of the things he's saying are quite alarming as well. And I was thinking, why all of a sudden is he doing this? Because he's changed. It seems to have changed massively since about June 25, June, July, August 25. We seem to have got a different Trump, and it was making me wonder what the real reason is. Now, they could have changed him out or whatever, but I was thinking about how they're going to bring in the military. So we need a scare event. So nuclear, aliens, fucking, I don't know whatever. But then we need to be able to bring in the military. So the military have to take over the running of the countries, so to speak. Now, that can't be done just like willy-nilly. There has to be a reason. So I'm wondering if clearly, the military have clearly supported Donald Trump for a very, very reasonable amount of time now. But now it seems as though that the military are turning against Trump. Now, this could be a psyop, or it could be just a little game. We're not quite sure. Now, if the military did turn against Trump, that would then cause them to take over the Trump administration. Now, that's an interesting thought, isn't it? That is an interesting thought. Remember, Donald Trump is just a character. Okay? Donald Trump is just a character. So somebody is controlling the character Donald Trump, just like somebody's controlling the character Keir Starmer. So you've kind of got to sit back and watch what's going on. to kind of not be 100% sure what's going on, but at least be able to make an informed choice or decision about it. So, yeah, let's keep an eye on that one. Let's keep an eye on that one. That would be quite an interesting one, wouldn't it? Now, we all know, of course, that the British government is massively compromised, not only by their actions, but, of course, the way that they are treating the people. And so I would imagine that the same thing has got to happen in London, or in the UK as a whole. So it's quite a big task, actually, to go from civilian rule to, of course, military rule. It's not an easy thing, and certain things have to be in place. Now, unfortunately, I've never been in a position where it's happened to me before, so we're kind of sometimes second guessing as to what may or may not happen. But we will, of course, wait and see. Now, meanwhile, of course, Zara Sultana. Fucking Zara Sultana. Now, Zara, as all of a sudden, she's one of these MPs that have all of a sudden had a massive wealth surge. The wealth surge was basically a £40 million fortune. Just happens to have landed in her lap. Not much to look at there. Unfortunately, then you find out Rupert Lowe's investigating. Now, if Rupert's looking into it, there must be something to it. Now, Rupert's demanding that we have an inquiry into this woman. Meanwhile, a High Court judge has denied an investigation, just like High Court judges denied a rape gang inquiry. Very interesting. And when we talk about inquiries, what is the point of having a panel of people that are chosen by the very people that are being investigated? I mean, it's like the police investigating the police. You know, it's like the judges investigating themselves. You know, it just doesn't happen. And so it's always only ever going to lead to one thing, and that's, of course, in fucking justice. So we all know about that. Now, meningitis. Some people are saying that apparently meningitis is being caused by vapes. Now, the question is, where does meningitis come from? It's all of a sudden rocked up on the shores of the UK. Now, what you ought to have a look at is what they call the meningitis belt. Now, the meningitis belt is a group of countries in a certain part of the world that suffer from meningitis quite a lot. And it just happens to be that the meningitis outbreak comes about from certain immigrants that have come from the meningitis belt. So, what does that mean? Well, if you've got certain people coming from a meningitis belt and bringing meningitis into the UK, it's not really the people's fault, is it? It's not really the NHS's fault, is it? No, it is, of course, the fault of the people that are being brought into the country by the very people that are bringing them into the country. Very interesting. So we'll see where that gets on. Now, meanwhile, digital ID has been sort of knocked off the charts for quite a while. But now, of course, with the advent of Iran and Lebanon, it seems as though that the government are trying to sneak in digital ID legislation. Now, that's an interesting one, isn't it? Anyway, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get myself off. I've got a busy day. and, you know, a great afternoon. So I need to crack on and get my stuff done. Yesterday, of course, I did the most stupid thing. So I'm thinking, I filled up my petrol can with fuel, filled up my mower, my strimmer, and basically the strimmer stopped, and and I had a look at the fuel, and you can tell the difference between diesel and petrol just by looking at it, and you can definitely tell the difference between diesel and petrol when you smell it. But what happened was the can that I filled up was half full of petrol. So I'd filled it up at the pumps with diesel, not knowing that, of course, I put it in. Anyway, drained it all off this morning. Luckily, it started again. Put some new fuel in. Started again. Hey-ho, away we go. Yee-hoo! So, panic over. Now, remember, a little bit of a tip, okay? If you do, sometimes you can get away with it. If you do, put petrol in a diesel, and providing you've not filled it up right to the top, okay, providing you can mix it, if you can mix it back, you can sometimes get away with it without draining the fuel. The problem is that most people fill everything up. So let's say, for instance, that I went and put 20 quid's worth of fuel, of petrol in my van. Okay. Obviously petrol is not very good in the van. But, if I then realised, I put petrol in, if I then filled the van up with diesel, I'd probably get away with that, and it'd be okay. And it might pink a bit, but it'd run. So little advice there, okay. Anyway, I suppose people are going to be filling the tanks up full because of the price increase. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get myself off. Louis Lades, take care. We will see you all again later on today, or tonight actually. So I'll try and find some more information for you. And let's just relax and enjoy it. Sit ourselves at 40,000 feet. Watch the shenanigans. That's all I say. Anyway, Louis Lades, take care. Cheers, mate.